Hello and welcome to another episode of the Chaos Chronicles.
Navigating the randomness.
I'm Jess.
I'm Connie.
And we are hopping back into our Spooky Ookie month.
Spooky Ookie. And this time, unfortunately, we don't have Jess's fun house with the Halloween decorations, but Jess was online and she found some amazing earrings. I am so excited about these.
There are stabby, while we don't have merch.
Exactly. So for now, just appreciate. And if you're listening on Spotify, I highly recommend you hop over here to YouTube so you can check out these very fun earrings.
Spotify has video too. They can see it.
Spotify has video?
Yep.
Well, in that case, hello. Enjoy the earrings.
Spotify.
I'm like trying to make sure they pop. So just like, haha. How's this going? How do beauty YouTubers do this stuff? They make it look easy.
I don't know. We're not beauty gurus. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah. No. I can help you with some stuff, but like,
don't ask me for help on any of that.
I can take generic guesses. That's it. But before we get too sidetracked, even though the entirety of the podcast is a sidetrack after another, it's a sidetrack from our lives too. But we are, as Jess said, in Spooky Ookie month. If you'd like to see more of our Spooky Ookies, which you really should because I enjoy them. I think they're awesome. Mm-hmm. You can find them on all of our social medias. We have them linked in the description below. And let's see. I feel like there was something else I was supposed to say. Oh, do we have a trigger warning today?
No.
Oh, beyond just the usual.
I mean, it's following the same kind of theme of all of our spooky Halloween months. So we're just kind of following like folklore and tales and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So listen to this in the dark.
Yeah. And if this is the first one that you're tuning into, welcome. But I had AI take my notes and retell my notes in a form of like a spooky story. So it's been a lot of fun so far.
It really has been. Although the doll one and the Bell Witch one, was it the Bell Witch or yeah, recording those at your house in the dark,
not a good idea.
Not the greatest idea. Jess lives in a very old home.
Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to be finishing up Spooky Ookie month here.
yeah, no, not a whole lot going on here. At least there shouldn't be.
No.
Hopefully. If a ghost does pop up, as I've said in other episodes, don't let us know. Don't leave a comment. I don't want to know. Mm-mm. Ignorance is bliss.
It is. It is. All right. Well, on that note, welcome back, dear listeners, to our fourth spine-chilling episode of our Spooky Month series. As autumn's shadows lengthen, we're venturing into the eerie world of the Stanley Hotel. A place where history and hauntings intertwine in the most chilling way. Perched high in the Colorado Rockies, the Stanley Hotel is renowned for its grandeur and, as you'll discover tonight, its ghostly reputation. From the ghostly echoes in the grand ballroom to the spectral presence in room 217, we'll uncover the chilling tales that haunt this historic hotel. We'll also dive into the connections to Stephen King's The Shining, which was a novel inspired by the very ghosts that seem to roam these halls. Are these supernatural stories mere myths, or is there something truly sinister lurking within?
See, this is the part where if I was there, I would say, I don't want to know. I'm at the Stanley Hotel. That's the quickest tour ever. I don't want to know. I'm good.
See, this is another one that, like, I don't want to go to.
Nope.
I don't. Even though I'm like, I'll go to Winchester. I won't go to the Stanley Hotel. I'm good.
See, my knowledge about Stanley is limited, so I'm in for as much of a ride as you guys are. But at least with Winchester, like, it's a wedding venue, and, like, there's a lot of rooms to confuse the ghost and me.
In a place where you can eat yourself to your doom.
Yeah. How awkward is that going to be? Hey, ghost, you scared me into eating myself to my doom, and now I'm here, and I can punch you as a ghost, so didn't think that through, did you?
Mm-mm. All right. So, amidst the craggy peaks of the Colorado Rockies, The Stanley Hotel rises like a solitary sentinel, its turrets and gables reaching for the heavens. Built in 1907, my house is older.
Your house is
Just had to
older than
point
the
that out.
Stanley Hotel.
Built in 1907 by Freeland Oscar Stanley, the hotel was designed as a grand escape from the urban grind, a luxurious retreat for those seeking solace in the pristine wilderness. With its gleaming white exterior and expansive verandas, the hotel exuded an air of sophistication and refinement. But as night falls and the winds howl through the mountain passes, the grandeur of the Stanley Hotel takes on a more ominous hue. Shadows lengthen, and the once welcoming facade becomes a foreboding presence against the darkening sky. The hotel's elegant architecture hides secrets that are anything but benign. The whispers of the past seep through its walls, hinting at a legacy of unrest and spectral activity. The legend of room 217 is as chilling as the mountain air that surrounds the hotel. In the early 20th century, a gas explosion in room 217 left chambermaid Elizabeth Wilson severely injured. Though she survived, the explosion marked her with its tragic fate. Guests who have stayed in room 217 report eerie encounters with a ghost. One chilling account comes from a visitor who awoke to find their luggage unpacked and neatly arranged by an unseen hand. Another guest described a disconcerting experience of being tucked in bed by a spectral presence, only to find the room empty upon waking. Getting tucked in by a ghostie.
Well, you know what? If that's the ghostly activity and it's not malicious, okay. It's a little weird, but you know what would be worse though? I just learned a term and I really wish I hadn't. Are you aware what frogging is? Phrogging?
No.
Okay, this is terrifying. Apparently, frogging is people that live in or repeatedly break into and stay for extended periods of time in people's homes.
Oh, I didn't know that had a term to it.
Yeah, apparently it's called frogging. I just learned about it. But yeah, like it happens where like they do it just for the thrill of being in the house and with the homeowner and the homeowner not knowing. Yeah, and they'll do stuff like that. Like,
No. No.
mm-mm.
No.
If that happened to me, oh my God.
No.
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 Stay
out of my house, thank you.
Stay out of my house. Stay out of my house. No.
So, the most unsettling stories involve sudden cold drafts and the feeling of invisible hands brushing against the skin.
Nope. I freak out when I think there's a bug on me.
No, just imagine you feel someone like just...
You know? No.
Just don't even want to think about it.
No, I am already religious for my own reasons, but I at that point would darn near become a nun. I'd be like, nope.
Nope, go away.
I'm going to sew a shirt of Bibles.
So some claim to see a ghostly figure hovering near the bed, dressed in early 20th century attire, with a sorrowful expression etched on her face. In one particularly haunting incident, a couple reported seeing a ghostly woman standing at the foot of their bed, her visage as pale as moonlight. The apparition vanished as quickly as it had appeared, leaving behind an icy chill and a powerful sense of dread. Now, the grand ballroom of the Stanley Hotel is a place where history seems to linger like a dense fog. Once the scene of opulent gatherings and lively dances, it now stands eerily silent, save for the occasional ghostly melody that drifts through the air. Visitors to the ballroom have reported hearing the faint strains of a piano playing, even when the room is devoid of any musical instruments. One particularly eerie story involves a group of guests who attended a ghost tour of the hotel. As they entered the ballroom, they were struck by the sudden and inexplicable sensation of being watched.
Nope.
The guests reported seeing ghostly figures dancing in the dim light, their movements graceful but yet unsettling. The figures seemed to glide across the floor, their features obscured by a shroud of mist. The music, though faint, was described as hauntingly beautiful, a spectral echo of the ballroom's storied past.
Huh. Are you thinking of the scene from Anastasia if it was
Yes!
a horror movie? Yeah. That was literally going through my head.
I know. Yeah, as I was saying, I was like,
I know. I'm like, dancing bears, painted wings.
Things I almost remembered.
Oh, God. That would actually be such a good song to switch into a minor key and make it haunting.
Ooh. Yes.
Sheet music. Oh, that would be amazing.
Ooh.
Especially if Liz Calloway was still singing it, the original voice. Oh, one of my favorite voices of all time. Sorry,
She's
sidetrack.
Really, but for those of you that have watched Anastasia, I'm sure that that's where your head went to. So sorry, not sorry.
Such a great movie. So not accurate, but such a great movie.
I know. So in another account, a staff member working late in the ballroom heard the distinct sound of footsteps approaching from the empty stage. The footsteps grew louder and more insistent, only to suddenly stop. When the staff member turned to investigate, the room was completely still, with no sign of any intruders. The experience left them with an uneasy feeling, as if the ballroom's ghostly guests had been merely biding their time before reappearing.
No, gracias. No.
Mm-hmm. The Stanley Hotel's expansive hallways are known for their eerie atmosphere and inexplicable occurrences. Now, do you know 30 Seconds of Mars, The song The Kill?
Probably. I'm not.
Break me down. Bury me.
Yes. I'm not good at remembering song titles.
Yeah, that's why I was like, da da da.
Yeah, you're better with titles and band names than I am.
Well, you got all the actresses and actors, and I'll get the music stuff.
So between the two of us, we could maybe do pretty decent at a trivia night.
Potentially.
But
in that music video, their music video is based on Stanley Hotel.
Why does that not... Wait, is 30 Seconds to Mars, was that the one with Jared Leto in it?
See, this is again where my... I know band names. I don't know any members of the band.
I feel
I don't think so.
Because he was in one of those 2000s pop punk bands and then transitioned to acting. Which one was he in?
Oh,
wait, was
really?
it? He was in 30 Seconds to Mars?
Really? Apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, that's him. He's the main guy.
Oh.
Damn.
Wow. Good damn me. Good job, memory. Oh, God.
No, wait. He looks so different. There's no way that's him.
That's him. And now all of a sudden, and I can't control the stream of consciousness in my brain, I have replaced Anastasia in that scene in the ballroom with Jared Leto's Joker in a minor key as he's waltzing.
Oh.
If I had AI skills, I could create that, but I don't.
Like, this guy is, like, hard set, like, we're talking, like, real pop punk, like.
Wait, which one's Jared Leto from there?
He's the... I'm waiting for him to, like...
Oh, yeah, I know this one.
Oh, no.
Oh, the emo hair? Yeah, that's him. You know, I know back in the day, we all saw those haircuts and we're like, oh my God, So cute, so hot. I see that now and I'm like, oh my God, so troubled.
It's just another time, right, Zeus? It's just another time.
That's how people felt about mullets, which are now coming back.
The permed mullets.
That's the scariest thing in this episode. The permed mullets.
But yeah, so a part of their music video is like the hallway and then going into the forbidden room so that is also based off of this, just like The Shining is also based off of this.
I mean, it's got its place in pop culture, and you want to know what? Maybe that's why Jared Leto is so weird today. He got possessed by a ghost while he was there. He was weird going in.
It just blows my mind, the picture that pulls up when you look him up versus that. Like, there's no way that's the same guy. It's the same guy. He has a good voice, though.
He does. I will give him that. I just, he's a character.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little wary, though, and I don't know how much of this is merited. We'll get back to the story in a second, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos Chronicles, what'd you expect?
You guys should know by now.
You should know. What throws me is that so many of the folks from those like early 90s 2000 bands, they ended up being such skeevy people, and usually with like pretty young fans. I'm talking like 15, 16 was considered old for some of them.
Yep.
And so the more I see people from those bands, I'm like, I'm a little worried. Like, I know not all of you, but it's happened enough times now that like we're a little cautious.
You got some yellow flags up.
Yeah, and I think Jared Leto's had a few of those.
Yeah.
I don't know though, confirm for sure.
Well, after this episode, if you guys haven't watched that music video, you should go and watch it and then put yourself in that mindset, because it's pretty cool once you know stuff. Because I was like, oh, this is based off The Shining when I was watching it as like younger. And now that I have this, I went back and rewatched it. And I was like, it all makes sense now.
Knowledge is power and ignorance is bliss. So knowledge is pain, then power is pain.
Pretty much. All right. Well, we are in the Stanley Hotel halls now. So guests have reported hearing the sound of footsteps echoing through the corridors, though no one is in sight. Doors will creak open on their own, and strange noises such as distant whispers and unexplained bangs punctuate the silence.
Who?
One particularly unsettling story involves a guest who was wandering the hotel's labyrinth halls late at night.
Why would you do that? To each their own, to each their own.
They made decisions.
Stupid decisions.
As they made their way down a dimly lit corridor, they were startled to see a shadowy figure dart across their path. The figure seemed to move with purpose, vanishing around a corner before the guests could react. When they followed, the corridor was empty with no trace of the mysterious apparition. Another ghostly account involves a family who reported their children being awakened by the sounds of giggling and playful whispers.
No.
The children described seeing ghostly figures of other children playing in the hallway outside their room.
It's a ghost hotel.
The parents, initially dismissive, were eventually convinced of the supernatural presence when their own experiences started to mirror those of their children.
No.
No. All right. So like I've already said, kind of, the Stanley Hotel's reputation for the supernatural was solidified when Stephen King and his wife stayed there in 1974. King was inspired by the hotel's eerie ambiance to write The Shining, a novel that would become a cornerstone of the modern horror literature. Though,
yeah. I was going to say, everybody knows it. Even if you don't know that you know it, you know it.
Yeah, I mean, and that has become so many spin-offs of just like, I'm pretty sure Family Guy even did an episode on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Family Guy, The Simpsons, all of them. Like,
so like, even if you're like, I've never read it, I've never watched the movie, you still know about it.
It's made its way into everything.
30 Seconds to Mars, The Kill.
Like literally everything. You know, the whole here's Johnny. That's The Shining. I didn't even know that was from The Shining, but when I started dating The Shining, jeez. When I started dating my now husband, Johnny, like that was the joke I made all the time. People would be like, oh my God, who's your new boyfriend? I'm like, here's Johnny. And they're like, you are so lame. I'm like, I know, but he likes me, so he puts up with a lot of my bad jokes. That is the foundation of
That
our
is a
relationship.
really bad joke.
The worse the joke, the better. If I can get him groaning, I will have the biggest stupid smile on my face. I will be so proud.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so though King's story is fictional, it draws heavily from the hotel's unsettling atmosphere and historic quirks. King's stay at the hotel occurred during the off-season when the hotel was nearly empty, which makes sense if you've read or seen The Shining. According to King, the isolation and the hotel's labyrinth layout fueled his imagination. He was particularly struck by the hotel's dark and foreboding hallways and the sense of foreboding that permeated the building. King's description of the Overlook Hotel in The Shining, its haunted corridors, malevolent presence, and psychological torment reflect the eerie sensations he experienced during his stay at the Stanley. In a stroke of literary irony, King's fictional Overlook Hotel became a mirror for the Stanley Hotel's own ghostly reputation. The novel's chilling narrative, combined with the hotel's real-life hauntings, has left indelible mark on the hotel's lore, attracting countless visitors eager to experience a piece of the supernatural. So today, the Stanley Hotel continues to attract those with a fascination for the supernatural. Let us know if you've been there, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious. There's got to be someone who has gone.
There's gotta be.
Is it really as creepy and foreboding as you think? Like, do you walk in there and you're like, all right, I'm waiting for something to happen and nothing happens? Or do you walk in and you're like, I regret this decision?
Please tell me.
Please tell me.
And if you don't want to put it in the comments, in our description is our email.
We do like emails of things related to the podcast.
Yes.
No unsolicited pics of anything, please.
Nope.
Unless it's a dog or a cat.
Yeah, we'll look at your animal pictures. Your pet pictures.
Pet pictures, yeah. That's it.
That's it. So the hotel offers a range of ghost tours which delve into its haunted history and provide guests with a first-hand experience of its eerie atmosphere. These tours take visitors through the hotel's most notorious locations, including Room 217 and the Grand Ballroom. The hotel's staff, accustomed to the stories of the hauntings, often recount their own experiences. Many employees have reported strange occurrences such as lights flickering, unexplained cold spots, and the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Some staff members even claim to have seen ghostly figures or heard disembodied voices during their shifts. One notable event in recent years involves a paranormal investigation team conducting an overnight investigation at the hotel. The team captured unexplained sounds and shadowy figures on camera, further adding to the hotel's reputation as a hotspot for supernatural activity. The footage, while inconclusive, has only fueled the legend surrounding the Stanley Hotel.
That's terrifying. I want to see it, and I don't.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe
Undecided.
during the day.
Yes.
I'm also
All lights on.
wondering, can they file workers' comp for the psych appointments they're going to need, the employees there?
Hopefully.
I'm just imagining that comes across a workers' comp like desk, the claim handler being like,
I was haunted
What?
by a ghost. I need to go see some psych help.
I
Thanks.
need therapy. And I'm just imagining a person who's been in the office for maybe like 15, 20 years. They've lost all hope in their eyes. All their jeans have stretchiness to them, not for practical reason or not for fashion, but for practical. I just imagine them turning to this new young person who's still full of gumption and hope and being like, yeah, approve it. Just approve it. Don't fight it. Approve it.
Oh, gosh.
That was an entertaining scenario in my head, which is still playing next to Jared Leto as the Joker dancing in Anastasia.
It's interesting. Okay. So, as night falls over the Stanley Hotel and the Rockies are shrouded in darkness, the hotel becomes a stage for the supernatural. The echoes of the past and the whispers of the unexplained blend with the present, creating an atmosphere that is both captivating and chilling. For those who dare to stay, the Stanley Hotel offers more than just a luxurious retreat. It promises an encounter with the unknown.
Oh, it's still an active hotel.
Still an active hotel.
Ooh.
The hotel's grand design and storied history are intertwined with the tales of the supernatural, creating a legacy that continues to intrigue and unsettle. Whether it's the ghostly piano music of the ballroom, the spectral presence in room 217, or the eerie whispers in the hallway, the Stanley Hotel remains a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown. In the quiet moments of the night, when the winds howl and the shadows grow long, one can't help but wonder what secrets lie hidden within the Stanley Hotel's walls. The spirits of the past seem to awaken, their whispers and echoes weaving a tapestry of mystery and intrigue that captivates the imagination and chills the soul. And that's all I have on the Stanley Hotel.
Stanley Hotel. You know what I'm curious about? I wonder if they do weddings in that ballroom.
Google break.
Google. Today's episode brought to you by Google and AI giving us weird words.
Yes, you can have a wedding in the ballroom at the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. Of course it's Estes Park. Why didn't I know that?
How much are the rates for a wedding there? Does it say? One, I'm curious because I'm curious. Two, having both of us gone through numerous types of wedding things, including our own weddings in the last 2 years. Almost 3 for you guys. You guys are coming up on 3. Aren't you? Or are you coming up on 2?
We're coming up on 2. I was like, wait, hang on.
In my defense, everything that happened in the last year was a little blurry.
I have to request a price.
Because I'm like, do you get a discount for the haunting, or is it more expensive because it's a haunting?
You can have a wedding in the library room, the music room, the billiards room, the concert hall, the McGregor room, the lodge.
This is a big place.
The pavilion.
To Google it is.
Google.
Hotel. Wow. Yeah, not what I was thinking that was going to look like.
Per Wedding Wire. Where did it go? It can hold 250 guests.
Wow.
And it is...
Oh, here we go. So the Stanley is the original historic hotel rooms.
Mm-hmm.
The Lodge is an updated historic rooms with boutique feel.
Oh.
Aspire is modern apartment-style rooms featuring kitchenettes. And there are residences fully equipped 1 to 3 bedroom condominium residence. They're nice looking rooms.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's not looking as old as I expected it to look.
Mm-mm.
I mean, like, older, of course, but I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, actually.
Me neither.
They've got cottages, a presidential cottage. Wow. It looks really nice.
Mm-hmm. I think all the pictures that I've seen of it are the dated photos of like the red runners in the hallways or red carpet in the hallways and
Oh, they've got galleries. Oh, they've got a wedding gallery. Let's see. Do you have a ghost gallery? No, you don't. See, if you were to just like,
pretty.
It looks very pretty, but if you were to pull this up and you're just looking at.
If you didn't know.
If you didn't know, you'd be like, wow.
That's beautiful, though.
It's beautiful.
Granted, most of these things, like, it wasn't like the Haunted Dolls episode where like
Yeah, you looked at that and you're like, oh, you know that's haunted.
yeah. Like, but it's like even them, most of them, they're harmless.
Jeez, this looks like the place where we had our rehearsal dinner.
It does.
I wonder if they took it was not there. It was not there.
No, we're not in Colorado.
Wow, this place is beautiful. Whoever does their weddings does a very good job, but they need more photos up there.
Yeah, they're not many. Granted, I can't see a lot of people wanting to get married in the Shining Hotel.
I found the ballroom with the piano. Ha, ha, ha. Not as creepy as you think, but the pink bows
Oh yeah,
really.
I've seen that. The pink bows throw it off for sure.
You guys should go check out the Stanley website. We definitely can't show these, but you should go check it out and just look through their galleries so you can kind of see this place. Which, I mean, it's beautiful. Oh, there's two places with pianos. I think I found maybe the concert hall. That feels a little more.
That's a concert hall.
That feels a little more
see
ghosty.
that. Yeah.
Although at the same time, if I'm somewhere, depending on the vibes that I'm getting, and I start hearing ghostly piano music, if it's really good, I'll just come in and sit and listen.
I'll let it
be
happen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe the ghost will appreciate that I'm being appreciative and they won't be like, oh, we got to smite her because she's here. I don't know. I'm not good with ghost logic. I'm barely good with human logic.
All right. Well, any last minute thoughts on the Stanley Hotel?
The hell's going? Are these chandeliers or are there like weird ghost tentacles coming out of the ceiling?
Those are chandeliers. That's really weird. It looks like something from the 80s. They were trying to do something cool.
It looks a little not safe for work.
It looks like it's from the 80s.
Yeah. That's wow. What an interesting. See, seeing it like that, they've got a spa. No, actually, no. I'm not going to a spa where there's ghosts. I'm going to get drowned or electrocuted.
You're going to be chilling in the spa and all of a sudden little ghost is going to drop a toaster in there.
Exactly. Or you're in the sauna and you're locked in and then guess what? You steamed.
Yeah, yikes.
No.
Well,
they have a fitness center too. Oh yeah, let's lift weights. Let's bench press where there's a ghost that can just like they have none of them seen Final Destination.
Apparently not.
No. Okay, you know how I said my clothes of Bibles? I straight up will make clothes out of Bibles if I'm going to stay somewhere like this and it's got active hauntings.
Guys, I don't know if we'll ever go to the Stanley Hotel.
It's not sounding like it.
But on that note, thank you for tuning in this week. Next week will be our last Spooky Ookie month episode. Connie found something weird.
Amenities at the spa at Aspire are 18 plus.
Okay. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms because we do throw in some pictures, what we can throw in. We do throw those in for our weekly episodes, so go check that out. Everything else will be linked down below. Yeah.
Well, again, as we asked earlier, let us know if you have any experiences at the Stanley or if you've stayed at any other places that were either advertised as haunted and you felt it was haunted or you didn't, or you stayed somewhere else and you're like, they really should put a disclaimer that this place is haunted.
Yeah, please let us know. You can also email us if you want to let us know like other places we should look into or tell us about your experience of a haunting.
Yeah, we honestly would love ghost stories. There are some freaky deaky ghost stories out there. We both have a few of our own. We got some from friends. We would happy to share those. And our email is, which one do we have?
Our email will be linked below.
I was going to say we got more than one.
It's a little goofy. I had to add something to make it available because Chaos Chronicles podcast was not available.
Right? I'm like, seriously? How did more than one person have this?
I don't know. But it wasn't available, so I had to add something. So that will be below. So just feel free to send us an email.
Yeah. And anything else?
Got
like,
nothing?
subscribe, and follow.
Yes.
Almost forgot that one.
Until then, we will see you next time.
Adios.
Bye.
Oh, almost forgot we had stabby earrings
Stabby,
in.
stabby.
Oh, we didn't have any stabbies this episode besides these.
No, we had pretty nice ghosts this time.
Wow, that doesn't happen normally. That's a new one.